everyone? My name is Vanessa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
And this is our podcast, Speak Up. What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad that we made it to episode 68.
Yo, 68. I have nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, it's real close to 70. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends. We create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
That's right. Self-love and respect are our two core values we hold near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, most definitely. But before we get started with the episode, we have a few announcements.
So we wanted to remind y'all that you can catch us live and unfiltered on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio Network. You can download the app by going to the link in our bio. You can also check out other cool shows on there. I promise you will not be disappointed. They range anywhere from sports to gossip to everything in between that you would like, mental health related as well. So definitely feel free to check out the other shows on the platform. But also with us, when you tune into our show, you can also chat with us live by calling in or typing it in the chat. So please show that support to your girls, because the more support we get, the better for us. So again, we are live and unfiltered every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio.
Yes, and an amazing shout out to our sponsors out there. Shout out to My Bar, located in Inglewood, California. Y'all want to get your nails done, your hair, your lashes, your brows, you want to look fly, go to My Bar. Located 720 East Manchester, Inglewood, California. Ask for tell them that SpeakUpJV sent you. The Instagram is at myy.bar. That's at myy.bar.
That's right. And of course, we got to give love to our other amazing sponsor, House of Mara by Ty Mara. Ladies, if you want to be looking right with these jumpsuits, bodysuits, t-shirts, everything that you can think of, then please go check out House of Mara. You will not be disappointed. It accentuates our curves in all the right places. Her Instagram is at House of Mara. That's HOUSEOFMERA.
Yep. She also has men's clothing as well.
That's right.
Tap in. So Jen, what is our title for tonight?
Today, our episode is called Slow Down.
Slow down. I just want to get.
It's funny because our minds went two completely different ways.
We ain't talking about that type of slow down, by the way. Today we're talking about taking the time to process. How many of y'all, something that happened, someone did you foul, or you got some bad news or whatever, you're about to make an impulsive decision and your mind was just all over the place and you didn't take any time to process it. We're going to get deep in that. What's self-love and inner peace without processing, right?
Exactly. I feel like that is one of the core themes of self-love and inner peace, where I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I've definitely been guilty of acting impulsively and reacting to a situation when I probably shouldn't have. And I've said some things, done some things that I'm not so very proud of. So this episode, I think, is talking to me directly. Yes,
I have a homeboy who used to always say, stop and wait. Like, it's perfect. Stop and wait. And I think that's how you make the best decisions. I'm not, sometimes I'm not saying it's perfect. Sometimes you still can make mistakes, of course. But at least you took the time to process whatever. Because them impulsive moves ain't it. I'm going to be honest with you. And this is coming from overthinkers at that, who think about everything, whatever. And, sometimes too, when we let those overthinking thoughts get the best of us, like the quick impulsive ones, that's how we end up doing something that we regret later.
That is real. So, girl, let me ask you, do you think you're impulsive?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I used to be, yes. When I used to overthink even more, if I allowed myself to process, I would just send that impulsive text, say whatever it was. And there's nothing wrong with my dad always told me, speak your mind. We're not talking about that, like you being blunt and direct with people. We talk about when some things you do need to just slow down and say what you need to say. Because sometimes that first thought is not the thought to say. So yes, I can still a little M, but yeah, been working on it. What about you?
I can relate to that so hard. I'm sorry, my mouth is like a loose cannon.
Yes, I'm playing.
So,
I'm just playing.
Yeah, if you've been in my life for a while, you know that. It's not something I'm very proud of. Sometimes it does come in handy, but other times,
right?
No.
We need it.
Yeah, but other times, I'll admit I should not have said that impulsively. So I would say yes, I am still impulsive, but much like you, I'm also still very much working on it. I definitely don't send out those paragraph texts like I used to. So
I don't miss that.
Like that's definitely something I've worked on. And then I realized too, like what is worth addressing and what isn't now.
I like that. And I'm glad you brought up the paragraph text, because I really, my thing used to be, okay, well, this person needs to know exactly how I feel every little thing. And I learned, as I'm getting older and wiser, I'm like, that stuff doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like it's something powerful about being calm and compressed keeping yourself together when those moments arise. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes things need to be explained, but for the most part, because some people, I mean, real, some people just, or they get happy, look at her upset, and they don't even get what you're trying to say because they're so distracted in the fact you sent the paragraph in the first place. So them days is over. Them paragraph texts. No, don't do it.
They're not reading it, sis. I promise. No, and that's the problem, right? When you're in the height of any type of emotion, negative or positive, you're not thinking clearly. Like, even for example, like that Jim Carrey movie Yes Man, right, where I know his circumstances were a little different. They were like challenging him to say yes to all these situations, but eventually he saw that his luck was starting to change in a positive way, so he was happier, so he was starting to say yes to everything, like so excitedly, right? He was making all these decisions, and to me those were impulsive decisions, because then it led to a lot of other things that happened in that movie if you've seen it. But it just puts into perspective for me of like, we're not just talking about anger here. We're also talking about happiness, because when you're happy too, like, you just see everything in roses and rainbows and you think it's all going to work out, and yes to this, yes to that, or, I'm going to make a big investment in this because I'm happy right now and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go splurge on this because, whatever. And when you realize it might not have been the best decision for you. So we're talking about that, like taking time away even after the height of the emotion has passed, whether good or bad, to actually come back and really make that decision. Yeah,
it's like if you're going to take a business deal, you just sign some contract, and it's like you look back like, and then let's be real, those impulsive decisions bring that regret. And I'm real, some things you can't undo.
Right.
Like, how many decisions have we made in our life and you can't undo whatever it was? Even if it was like cutting somebody off, like, are you ready to cut that? Like, whatever it is, or are you ready for that and what comes with it? Because some things, like, you can't reverse that, or, sorry, my bad. But, so it's true.
No, that's true. And that's why when you don't take time to process, it can actually cause frustration in the end. Because like you were saying, once you say something, you can't take it back, right? So when you're not processing and you've already said it, that frustration might kick in of like, no, well, I didn't mean it like that and blah, blah. Well, it's too late, been done, been said. So we really should be applying this to all kinds of relationships. If somebody is important to you in your life and you want to keep them, you want to take this into account. And I'm saying this to myself too, because the younger me was so quick to just, well, if I'm sad, I want this person to know how sad I am, and they feel it too, and then they feel it worse, and blah, 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 and stuff like that. But I realized that's actually not saving my relationships. That's just actually making it worse and bringing more problems that probably weren't even there in the first place. So really take that time to look back and make that decision at another time.
Yeah, and you understand too, some people are more sensitive than others. Like, to you, it might not be a big deal. Like, I just said this. Why are they? But to other people, like, they might take it completely. Like, okay, like, I'm done with you. I can't deal with you no more. And we also got to debunk the power of silence. Sometimes it's just clear. Like, silence, there's so much clarity in silence. Like, I'm reading the book of Sacred Woman, and the book is also, it has been talking about silence, like the power of our words, even us taking the time to think, to say something. That's like energy coming out and stuff. So like, it was talking about too, take times out the day where you're just quiet. Like, you could do like 4 hours of silence, or, if you can, but take days where you just kind of are quiet and like you really, and then it helps you catch when you are saying negative things. If you're like cursing a lot, or you're gossiping, whatever, like, you just being silent, you'll find more value in the words that you speak, and that everything that you say means something. So I've been understanding that too.
That's true. Yeah, I was just talking about that on our live episode from this week, actually. That lately I've been practicing that in my relationships, where I've been realizing that I don't have to say something all the time, right? It's like they say, listen to process, not listen to react.
Ooh,
that
right.
You're really being more mindful of not only what this other person is telling you, but what you're also trying to tell them with your body language, or the words that you're more careful that you're gonna say. And me practicing this also, I've realized, like, I'm allowing more room for that other person to feel safer, to feel like they can say something. And especially if you have a person in your life who doesn't like to talk much, silence really goes a long way, because you're allowing them that space, and it's no longer uncomfortable if that silence does come up.
Yeah, and then we could talk deeper about arguments. It's important to let arguments cool down, process, because if we bickering at each other, going back and forth, we're missing each other's points. Let's be real. Both of us are missing, because we're so concerned about what we're trying to say. We're not even hearing what the other person is saying. So I think too, when you kind of cool down, you can either agree to disagree when y'all do go back together and talk, or you can understand, you know what, they were kind of right when they said that. Sometimes our stubbornness kicks in when we're being impulsive. It's like, I don't want to hear what the hell you saying. I'm worried about what I'm saying, So that's another important thing.
That's very true, because let's be real, we all have that dark impulsive side,
Woo!
right? But how many of y'all can actually say that it's effective in saving a situation? Don't get me wrong, sometimes, you got to make decisions on the spot, right? And I just want to be clear, we're not telling you, if somebody's got you messed up, don't say nothing. No, of course, I'm all about defending yourself, but it's more about if you're trying to save your relationship, and let's say it's like an argument or something, you impulsively reacting just to hurt that person or just to be petty isn't going to make the situation any better. That's not active solution finding. It's more of ending the argument, and I'm seeing my partner as the enemy versus, us trying to work on the problem together. So don't let that dark impulsive side come out, because as petty as we all can be, and we want to be sometimes, it's not going to help us out in the long run, and you're actually just adding more hurt to the relationship.
Yeah, and I hate that we're in a generation where we romanticize that dark side of like, I did this to them, I burnt this up, I blew this up, because of what they did to me. Because I want to say this too, you don't get your peace by doing that. Actually, that brings more chaos to your life when you do something detrimental to them, because you're trying to of course we're hurt, but I feel like you rebuild your peace by being able to, like, obviously stand up for yourself, say how you feel, walk away, and then rebuild yourself. That's something about that peace, and you're not punching the clock on your karma or something coming back on you. Like, that's not them, they did you foul. You can walk away peacefully and gracefully. Really, the flex is you getting yourself back together, bouncing back, being happier, being at peace. Like, there's no need for, I learned there's really no need for revenge. Like, you're not at peace when you're doing that. Like, you don't even feel right. Me personally, this is like my opinion of it.
And then I'm a big believer in karma as well. So if I'm putting out bad juju out there, bad vibes, wishing bad on somebody, or just speaking negatively back to somebody else, it's not gonna help me in the long run. Like I said, my mouth is like a loose cannon, so if I want to, of course I will, but sometimes I've just realized it's not even worth addressing. Like we were saying, right, pick your battles. Like, you need to really think about what person or what situation is worth your time in general, because that too, I've realized, why do I have to waste my energy getting mad about a certain situation or a certain person if, one, they're not going to matter tomorrow, right? This situation is just whatever for now. Or two, if that person is important to me and that fight is important, then that's why we need to take the time out to process it. Because if it wasn't important to me, then I would just backfire like that. But if not, and I'm actually trying to prolong the relationship and actually be healthy in the long run, then I'm gonna watch my words. I'm gonna make sure I don't call them out their name. I'm not gonna insult them or anything like that. But if it's somebody that you're just trying to get rid of out of your life, like you're saying, smile and walk away. That's okay, right? A smile sometimes is way stronger than any FU, any insult that you can give. And again, the power of silence really goes a long way with that too. I'm
telling you, and I'm gonna be real, for someone to do you feel, they have to be in a messed up space to even feel that's okay, right? So I swoop to their level and get that back. Misery loves company. So if some people are like, oh, look, she did this back to me, haha, But when you do it peacefully, what, that didn't even, Then, you know what I mean? I feel like that stings the best, and then you're bettering yourself, and then you're in a more peaceful environment. And everything too, don't let everybody see you break down. I want to say too, let's say someone did try, it hurts. I'm not saying you ain't gonna be sad or angry. That's when you have that main person you can call. Like my bestie, she done seen it all. Like, before I even give someone that benefit of like, oh yeah, they had me feel like this, I'm gonna call her with them tears. We gonna work through it, and I know how to compose myself. It's not being fake about it. I'm not giving no one that satisfactory of thinking that they wore me down or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, realizing what is worth addressing, what is not. So even if you have to go and cry it out real quick with your bestie, go for it. Right. Sometimes we really, like we've said before, we are human, so of course we're gonna have those emotions too. So go ahead, cry it out, let it be, and process it with your best friend if you have to, when it comes to a different type of relationship that you're dealing with, and then just come back later when you're a little bit more level-headed.
Yeah, and then and then be real, you'll be able to articulate how you feel better versus when it's so emotional, you're just cussing out the person, whatever. You're able to tell them at least how they had you effed up and in the correct way, those words that sting properly. Sometimes you ain't have to even insult them to tell them, and then I feel like it stings. And honestly, all this relates to self-love, because self-love is being patient with yourself, allowing yourself to process, allowing yourself to think. You ain't loving yourself properly if you're just acting on just random stuff or whatever. You have to be able to give yourself that peace by processing before you make a move.
Ooh, I like that. Give yourself that peace, y'all. Self-love. What do we talk about? Self-love and inner peace, right? Those are the two main things. So they go hand in hand. And the way you keep your peace is by not reacting so impulsively.
And honestly, too, reflecting can actually save your relationship. So it's like a part of reflecting, too, is this person worth being in my life still? Do we need to change the label of what we are? Because sometimes too, someone may not be fit for a certain role in your life, but they could be a different one too. Doesn't mean you have to completely cut them off, but you have to reflect. And then when you're reflecting too, what are you doing wrong in it? Because we're quick to say this person was this person was that, but honestly, when we do that all the time, we're mad that someone's not fitting in our box that is unhealthy. What do we need to fix? Because there's a reason that they're not fitting into. Because sometimes we're the problem, I'll be honest, but it's about that accountability and doing that self-reflection.
That is very real, y'all. And when you are reflecting, don't be afraid to be alone. I know sometimes we're so quick to run to other people and, what should I do here? What should I do there? Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting advice and maybe learning from somebody who's been there before you. But when you need to reflect on something by yourself, do it by yourself. Like sometimes the answers that you are looking for are already within you. You just need time to step away from others in order for you to find it.
Alone time is so powerful. Solitude, oh my goodness, I can't even push that even more, In the day too, this is the time to overthink. I think, sit there in that alone time and overthink about whatever. Think about everything, all of your options. How can you move forward?
I like that a lot. Y'all, I think breathing is so underrated too.
Take a breath now.
I was hoping I didn't start coughing for that. But yeah, there's so much power in taking those breaths. Y'all ever just been so heated, and then when you take time to reflect and you're just like, everything just kind of comes back. And it honestly goes back to, you're allowing the oxygen to flow back into your brain, by the way, first of all. But second of all, you're also creating like a barrier between you and the argument, whatever the situation is that's going on. So you're making sure that it doesn't continue in whatever vibration was just occurring. That breath is breaking that vibration and is creating a whole new one. So you have that power to create a brand new vibration after that deep breath. So don't take deep breathing for granted, y'all.
Yeah, it's really brief. And if y'all listen to our live segments, we always talk about a water segment. Drink some water. Breathe and drink some water before you act too. Throw that in there. But that too, water will help. And sometimes processing might take days. It doesn't mean that in that moment you need 20 minutes and then it's good. Some things, I'll come back to that in a few. Or some people you might have to I'm going to give, let me get away for like a week and figure this out. There's no time limit on it. It's really about the situation and how you feel at the end of the day.
Exactly. No right or wrong way, right? And we're trying to end off with letting y'all know that taking time to process can actually help create healthier and more effective relationships in your life. Because I know everybody talks about, I want healthy this, healthy that, blah, blah, blah. But effective to me is a key word, because people change. People are going to have disagreements. You're going to have heated moments where it's like you just want to, with somebody. But when you take the time to process and slow down, like we've been trying to tell y'all, then you're realizing how important is this relationship to me? How important is this argument in the first place, right? And then go from there.
No, that is so true. We appreciate y'all tapping into our 68th episode. But before we go, we have a couple of announcements.
Again, catch us live and unfiltered, y'all. I got to use my sexy radio voice for this. Catch us live and unfiltered every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio. You can download the app by clicking the link in our bio, and you can check out other cool shows on the other 3 stations as well. Anywhere from sports to Latinx to talk anywhere, anything for your liking. But please make sure you support your girls over here, because the more you support us, the more we can create content for y'all and really just put more positivity like this out into the world. So again, don't forget to catch us live and unfiltered every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio.
And also, quick shout out to our amazing sponsor, My Bar, located in Inglewood, California. Y'all get your brows, your hair, your nails, your lashes done. Feel good, come out being pampered, you know, and just woo. Make sure y'all tap in. Ask for mine. Tell them that SpeakUpJV sent you. The Instagram is at myy.bar.
And of course, our other wonderful sponsor, House of Mara by Ty if you want to look good in your clothes, feel good in your clothes, whether you are a woman or a man, then this is definitely the place to go. I know my curves be looking right when I wear those bodysuits. So please go check her out. Her Instagram is at House of Mara. That's HOUSEOFMERA.
Yes. Check us out on Instagram at SpeakUpJV. You can check us out on Twitter at SpeakUpJV. Tweet us, please. And also, you can check us out on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify. SpeakUpJV is global. Thank you guys for all the support. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are watching, and let your friends know. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye.